Alright, so back for another episode. It's been a bit, I apologize, but the Cuphead build was a little tiring, so I decided to take a week off. But a lot of people have seen the background of my game room slash office slash workspace, so I figured what I would do is give you guys a quick tour. This is December 2017. Not super big on game room tours, but a lot of people kind of make comments about what they see in the background, so I figured what better way to show you what I do have by just giving you a quick little run through of the game room and office. So let's check it out. Alright, so to start off, I do have a lot of, I guess people would call it crap in my game room here, but huge South Park fan. Got an original movie poster from them. Some creepy Halloween masks I found like 3 or 4 years ago. They're only like $1 or $2, but they're creepy, but they're neat. Little sugar skull mask that my wife made for me. Little basketball hoop because I'm a child. Some sweet signs. I do have some of my favorite magazines hanging up there. Up here we've got some Nintendo stuff. Little Samus figure I like. Little Robs. Some little stuff. And then we get into my ghost masks. Super awesome band I like. This is actually a neat thing too. I 3D printed. I found the model on Thingiverse. Just blew it up a bit and painted the ends there, but little Discoon's pretty cool. Actual little Samus head that goes on the Nintendo Power Samus figure I had. Little Slippy. And again, Rob. Horrible peripheral, but still neat, And then over here, we'll go back over here is the ghost masks. Really like this one. It's a hand sculpt. I think I got it from like I forget, some Halloween site, but it was like a 2-month pre-order, but it's really cool. It's like pretty hard resin. And then this is a latex mask I picked up, Papa Emeritus 3. Pretty cool. But back to some game stuff. So I've got some magazines again back here. Final Fantasy 7, Nintendo Power 100, and then this is a super nerd thingy here. I don't know if you can kind of see. That's the last issue of Nintendo Power over there. But this is actually issue number 1, but it's a variant copy of people that were in the Nintendo Fun Club. That's the free sample copy rather than the free poster inside. It has some cheap little speakers here on an older Sony amp plugged into my TVs that I play on. Again, I didn't really clean up for you guys. Kind of wanted you to see how it functions, but little shadow box of Mega Man 2. My friend helped me make. It came out really great. Drill, of course, it's always popular. But here's what I actually play on for the most part. So down here I've got it's an LG, I think it's like a 43-inch LED TV, and then I have my newer stuff. I've got over here I've got a Super Nintendo Classic, an AVS, I've got a PlayStation 4 down there, and then I have a FrameMeister as well that I use to plug in the old stuff into that. Over here, something I picked up from FSU is a 34-inch, I think, or 36, can't remember. Monovision. It's a VGA CRT. Really cool picture on it. Looks beautiful. I've got my NES down there, along with one of my little tiny test PVMs and some random games that I just didn't put up. But this is where I pretty much play. We've got a little couch here that we use, obviously, to sit on and play the games. I also plug in my MacBook down there for when I'm streaming. I can see chat and all that kind of stuff. And I do have a little PS4 camera that I use. The Twitch streaming on PS4 is kind of lame. The template's kind of rough looking, but I use that one there for that. Again, random crap on the wall. This is a cell that my friend Brian bought for me from the 90s Street Fighter 2 cartoon. Really cool. It's an actual cell. This is something that one of my wife's friends, Aaron, made. He asked who our favorite characters in Mortal Kombat were. Mine's Scorpion. Chrissy likes Katana. I can't remember her name. I'm so terrible right now. Anyways, just some random stuff. Again, here's the closet where I keep most of my newer games. And some books and things like that. But most of my PS4 stuff. I don't have anything too gnarly. Cool Battle Garega set that I imported. Just some other, random stuff. Some of my Game Boys. I keep my EverDrives over there. That's my 101 modded Game Boy Advance, 3DS, my regular Game Boy. Keep all my loose cart stuff there. Keep my extra consoles up here. This is from a YouTube channel that I watch, Soundman CA. But just keep my consoles that I'm not currently using up there. That's the Xbox One I bought for Cuphead that I'm waiting for a patch to fix the controllers. And then over here, some more storage stuff. I've got just power cords and video cables for the consoles that I use, try to keep them organized. I have an ALF because that's important. And then this is where I keep my fight sticks. So I've got a VLX, got a Panzer 1, Namco stick, a Razor stick, Mad Catz TEs. I'm kind of obsessed with fight sticks is what I'm getting at. But, you know, they're important. Not Street Fighter, Transformers trailer for Optimus Prime. But again, this is kind of just where I keep crap up here. I've got a little Nintendo Authorized Repair Center LED thing, some bead sprites of Metal Slug and Boogerman, Little Samson, Mega Man, Earthworm Jim. Two of my favorite 16-bit era games, Earthworm Jim and Boogerman, so had to make those. And this is I guess it's the bootleg, it's a repro. It's like $100 on eBay, but it's LED. It doesn't get super hot, but it lights up nice and bright. And then we're kind of work over here to what a lot of people ask about, which is my wall of Nintendo games. I have a frick ton of them. I think I'm at 700 and something, but I'm going for complete NES as well, licensed as well as unlicensed. So you can kind of see they are in alphabetical order except for the Black Label games up there, Black Box games up there, and then everything else is actually in alphabetical order. So everything's up there. Some of the higher dollar stuff's over here. I don't know if it's the full set, but we got these on eBay a while back. My buddy Danny told me about them, but it's the full Aladdin sealed set. Over there's my little Samson. Some of my box stuff down here. Another stick that I'm building. That's a Neo Geo. One slot. Here's some of my boxes. I don't have anything super nice as far as boxes go, but I've got a couple that I wanted. Mega Man 2 and 3. Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego with the Atlas or whatever's in there. Up here are some of the ones I picked up recently. Castlevania 1, 2, and 3. Those are cool. Some of my little Game Boy Advance games. Just random crap that I haven't put away. Down here I have a complete Inbox Miracle piano. Some loose Sega Genesis, or not loose, some complete Sega Genesis stuff. As well as some other random stuff. I got a Power Glove down there. But that's just kind of crap that I think is neat. I just haven't really put it anywhere. But this is my wall of Nintendo. All the unlicensed stuff's down here. I'm missing quite a few unlicensed games, but some of my little, I don't really have that many Super Nintendo games, but there were 64 games, but here's some of the ones I do have. Yes, I know I have 2 Zeldas. I got lucky. One of them is actually signed by Shigeru Miyamoto. That's why I keep that second one. But that's that. Huge wall of games, so I guess I'm an official YouTuber because I have that many Nintendo games. If we move over here, this is my computer. My LED Christmas lights and face hugger, because nothing says Christmas like a face hugger. But I use a 3 monitor setup. Got my laptop there for work through the day. You can use that monitor above it for a second monitor. Watching some Cinemassacre stuff here. Got Facebook open, but computer's actually kind of old. It's a 2nd gen i7. Upgraded the video card. It's got 32 gigs of RAM in it, but it's pretty solid, man. Once, it crashed with Windows 7, I reinstalled Windows 10 on it, put a solid state drive in it. It's pretty good, works pretty well. This is where I stream League of Legends. I also stream stuff with the FrameMeister on this as well. I kind of use that middle monitor as my monitor to play on. Keep chat on the vertical monitor over there, and OBS on that monitor over there. So it kind of works out. It's 2 28-inch Asus monitors and a 21 or 20-inch vertical Dell monitor, but it works pretty well. And again, I just picked these Christmas lights up last night. I just really like them. They're LED, so they're not going to get hot, and they just look neat. And then here's the tower over here. Again, kind of older, but it's a i7, blah, 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 GTX 1070, all that fun stuff. Here's my little mixer that I use for recording. I use actual mics because they're easier, sounds better. You can control the sound quite a bit more. My little tiny shelf here. And then here's some other shelves I have. Up here is the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures, as well as some other ones I like, little Mad Balls, and some of my better Transformers that I like. So, Masterpiece Optimus, Unicron, the Big Devastator, Castle Grayskull, good stuff. Masterpiece Soundwave is really cool. And then down here, some other stuff. Some League of Legends figures, Gundam stuff, just random crap, and then everyone's got to have a few pops. So, got Bob Ross Mint Berry Crunch, some Rick and Morty's, And then the last big thing of the game room, which I'm sure some of you already know about, are these guys. These are my two best candy cabs. It's a Windy, Konami Windy. Right now it's running a multi-CPS2 setup. Right now I've got a Super Turbo running on it. And then over here is probably my favorite candy cab, is the Taito Egret 2. Right now it's running a Pi JAMA with Batsugun running. Repro panel on it. This is a legit panel here. But I've always admired candy cabs, and my first one was a Blast City, and you know, the Egret 2 is kind of a unicorn, especially here in Florida. But basically, after some serious time in collecting and trading, I was able to get two of these, and these are in my office. So yeah, it is kind of cramped in here, but it's 100% worth it having these two things. These are awesome. You know, Super Turbo is easily my top 5 favorite arcade games of all time. And having a nice vertical arcade cabinet, candy cab, is super nice. It's easy to change games on it. Really, really cool. Batsugun's fun. Glad to get the Pi JAMA up and running so I can play some cool games. But that's pretty much it for the actual game room / office. So now I'm going to take you guys out to the lab where I actually fix some stuff, or try to at least. So let's check it out. Alright, so this part of the video is my new lab where I pretend to fix things. So over this past weekend I moved a bunch of stuff, as you previously saw, in the game room with the arcades and all that fun stuff. We're out here where I do a lot of 3D printing stuff. You can see here I've got a sweet little thing I made for Christy here, which still need maybe print a brain for it, but we'll get around to that. I have a little Pac-Man Go screwdriver holder here. But this is where I do a lot of research on board stuff. I do my EPROM programming here. I have a GQ4X EPROM programmer. I have a 32-bit adapter here for doing things like CPS2. This was a Wii U kiosk that I got out of the trash at GameStop. Fully working, they cut everything on it, but since the Wii U is kind of outdated and rough, I just threw my Wii U on there. So I don't really use it too much, but it's nice. Over here I've got PVM. I use this obviously for gaming, but I also use it to run arcade boards on that I'm programming new EPROMs for, or from testing RAM or whatever it is, trying to get them running. This is a project stick I'm working on here. Just threw an old Sega panel on there. I try to keep my stuff organized. I'm still in the process of organizing everything, but here's all my blank EPROMs. I have my oscilloscope down here for testing chips, different things like that on boards. Still kind of new to it. It's kind of foreign to me, but I'm working on learning how to do all that stuff. But pretty cool. Here's my 3D printer that I use to make a lot of different things. I use this for my Pi JAMA little adapter board. As you can see over there, the JAMA edge connectors here. These I actually made a while ago. I don't know if I've ever showed them, but a simple little thing. They're little JAMA edge connectors, and they fit onto the end of a JAMA board like this. This way, when you put them on a shelf, kind of like a Nintendo dust sleeve, it doesn't allow any dust or crap to get on your board. So kind of just a little thing that I made there. Back to the desk. That is my printer. It's off right now, but I use this for quite a bit of things. Printing adapters, gift cards for flipping great pinball, just all kinds of different things. This is my Mac setup. We'll get there in a second. Oh yeah, I guess that's 3D printed. I forgot about that guy. We're gonna get to R2 in a second. That's R2 bubble wrap. Anyways, over here is my Mac setup. This is where I do all my editing. I'm trying to sound fancy, but I really don't edit. I cut the end and the beginning off and kind of just together, but it's where I pretend to edit stuff. But over here is where I keep just basically parts and harnesses and wires and things. You can see here's some R2-D2 parts that I'm in the process of cleaning up before I actually put it on there. Here's a little Katamari Damacy ball. Neat, right? But this is basically where I keep all that stuff. I got some tools over here that aren't at my shop. Monitors, kind of a CRT hoarder. Here's some boards that are in the process of being worked on. These are Captain America boards, I believe, that we're in the process of repairing. This is a Super Pack that we're converting to a Galaga 88, I believe. I'm waiting for some EPROMs to come in the mail to convert that over. The elephant in the room, it doesn't really look like it, but that's Christy's skee ball machine that she got. That's going to be hard to fix.
Sorry. Come back.
But basically that's the skee ball machine that Christy got from her old place of work for free. We took it home in, was it 2 pieces?
Yes.
2 pieces. Wasn't fun getting in the house, but believe it or not, it's actually not as heavy as it looks, but it's as big as it looks because it's gigantic. But we're in the process of having a custom marquee done. I'm not going to give it away, but it's Futurama themed, we'll say. But as you can see, the random art that I have in here, obviously I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but random old arcade marquees that I didn't want to throw out. Jared made me some posters and stuff. So I just like seeing the art. I don't want it to get thrown out or torn up. So we've got some over there. We got some over here as well. It's kind of just whatever out here. Behind you on the kitchen rack, I guess is what it's called, is all of my PCBs. I have them there in the UPS or USPS boxes, all bubble wrapped except for that Donkey Kong Jr., which obviously isn't bubble wrapped. But I have an old oscilloscope there that I picked up from Goodwill that I couldn't get working right, so that's why I bought the other one. But that's really just cords, adapters, parts, pieces. I got a monitor frame up there. I got Captain America bezel art up there. Just all kinds of stuff. But this is where I come to work on some stuff. And I also store the stuff that Christy hates, like my Evangelion pachinko machine. Do you want me to turn on and make everybody deaf?
Nope.
And that's my Evangelion Second Impact pachinko machine, which I freaking love. It's pretty much set up so you can't win, I think. I don't really know. But it's a cool thing. It's neat. I like it. I made a little cheap frame for it to kind of sit on there. But this is the second part of it. This is where I come to fix stuff. And I guess we'll talk about this guy. Not really arcade related, but something I'm working on. This is something I always wanted. R2-D2's head. No, I'm just kidding. This is a project that I've been working on for a bit, but this is R2-D2. It's going to be a life-size R2-D2 when it's done. So at first, this is, I believe, 29 or 30 pieces that were all printed on that guy, piece by piece. And you can kind of see here it's still rough, but all glued together and basically ACL welded. Still need to, the next step for this is that I actually started printing all the accessory pieces that go on here, which was his hologram eye holder and all that. But is filling this all in with body filler, sanding it, and then priming it. And then once that's done, we're going to go through paint and then printing all the rest of the pieces and doing that. So this really is an arcade, so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on it, but it's just something that I'm working on. But it's gigantic and takes a lot of time. But I'm happy with it. It looks cool, but right now he doesn't have a body, so he's kind of just chilling on my bubble wrap here. So there's that. But yeah, so this is where I come to wrench on stuff. And mostly just listening to the podcast and wasting time on the internet on my computer. But thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. Sorry it's been so long, but the Cuphead build nearly killed me. It's pretty gross too. That happened at Flippin' Great. Changing out a spring on a pinball. Learn how to use pliers, kids. Not good for your skin. But thank you guys, and we'll catch you next time.